Hello and welcome to the Forgeborn Finishing School. Casey, Kid, and Core here. We'll be analyzing Forgeborn battles to help take your game to the next level. Hey everyone, Casey, Kid here with another quick card thought. Today we're going to talk about a card that is in one of my favorite decks, but I haven't played in a long time. It's in my Umbruckian Sling Down deck, and the card we're going to talk about is the Stampeding Spellknight. So really it's the Spellknight in general is the base creature, and Stampeding is just the forge word on this one. Spellknight has the ability to activate, if you played a spell this turn, increase its attack by 2, 3, and 5 at its respective levels. Now, the interesting thing about the Spellknight is it's really good when it's in the optimized deck for spell slinging, or if you're always going to play a spell, things like that, especially free spells. It's really, really good for that. But the base creature itself does take a pretty significant stat hit when you get some of the other forge words. So this is a really interesting one where I'm really only looking for a couple of forge words to make me really happy to see the Spellknight. Most people would think that chaining is a great one, and it's definitely not bad. But the problem with the chaining Spellknight is that at level 1, it's going to be a 1/4, and that's just, you're really not going to push any damage through with this thing, but you get that awesome chaining ability, and it automatically activates, so really it's a 3/4. And then at level 2, it would be a 5/11, that's including its first activation. And then including its first activation at 3, the chaining Spellknight is a 9/16. So it's not too bad once you get it all the way up there. But what I've found with chaining throughout playing historically is that sometimes you don't get it with the right hand to activate it and level it up. So really you'd be playing this thing at a huge detriment at the levels if you don't get the free spell out of it. So there's really only 2 Spellknights that I've ended up finding I really like. And Arrogant is one of them, oddly enough, just because the Spellknight itself is pretty health weighted, typically before you get the modifier, and so Arrogant really just evens it out. At level 1 it's a 5/5, and that's a pretty good ability or stat line right there. And at level 2 it's a 7/8. That's before the activations. But my favorite one is the Stampeding Spellknight. So level 1 you can see is a 3/6, and it gets that breakthrough. So this is a way to really ensure that sometimes if your Spellknight gets out of hand, you're still going to connect for damage, because a lot of times this is one of those cards, like Steel Eye Researcher we've seen before, they can just chump block it out and it doesn't really matter. So I think Stampeding is the best forge word for this creature. There are some good ones, but they cost a lot for stats. Very curious to hear your opinions in the comments below. What you think of the Spellknight, if you've used it in the past, and what your favorite forge words are. Thanks. Thanks for attending this lesson of the Forgeborn Finishing School. If you liked this video, please subscribe, comment, or consider donating to our Patreon account. We look forward to our next lesson.